Karen walked into the Ferrari showroom and demanded a 6-month lease immediately. The glass doors of the Ferrari showroom slid open with a soft mechanical hum, and the air inside seemed to shift. The scent of polished leather, fresh wax, and Italian craftsmanship floated through the room. Behind the counter, sales manager Antonio glanced up from his desk, already used to people walking in with wide eyes and empty pockets. Most customers came with quiet admiration, reverence even for the cars on display. Sleek beasts of red and black, lined like predators waiting to pounce. But this woman was different. Karen stormed in, heels clacking against the marble floor, oversized sunglasses perched on her head. She carried herself not with awe, but with entitlement. Heads turned as she brushed past a young couple admiring a Ferrari 488. She stopped in the center of the showroom, planted her designer handbag on the hood of a pristine Ferrari Roma, and loudly announced, "I'll take this one. 6-month lease. Start the paperwork now." The entire room went silent. Antonio raised an eyebrow. He'd dealt with difficult customers before, but something about her tone demanded attention. He approached slowly, keeping his professional smile intact. "Good afternoon, ma'am. I think there may be a misunderstanding. We don't lease Ferraris. They are only available for purchase, and even then, there's an application process." Karen cut him off with a sharp wave of her manicured hand. "Don't bore me with the details. My son just turned 18, and he deserves this car. He's been patient long enough. Just write the contract for 6 months. After that, I'll decide if we want to keep it." Whispers rippled through the showroom. A few people smirked. Others rolled their eyes. One man chuckled softly, shaking his head. Antonio cleared his throat. "Ma'am, Ferraris are not leased like standard cars. They're precision-built machines. They are sold to buyers who meet specific qualifications." Karen's eyes narrowed. "Qualifications? Are you saying I'm not qualified?" Before Antonio could answer, another voice spoke up. It belonged to Lucas, a decorated veteran who had come to the showroom that day with his daughter. He had worked his entire life, saved penny by penny, and was finally in a position to buy the car he had dreamed of since childhood. "She's not saying you're unqualified, ma'am," Lucas said calmly. "But Ferraris aren't toys you lease for a few months and toss away. They're earned. They mean something to people who actually respect them." Karen spun on him, glaring. "And who are you? Just another wannabe Ferrari driver? I'll have you know my HOA practically worships me. If I want a Ferrari, I get a Ferrari." End of story. The audacity of her words made Antonio sigh. Lucas's daughter tugged on his sleeve, whispering, "Dad, don't." "She's not worth it," but Lucas just gave a reassuring smile. Antonio, determined to remain professional, invited Karen into his office to discuss options. What she didn't realize was that this wasn't an offer. It was a quiet tactic to de-escalate. As she strutted behind him, Lucas overheard one of the junior sales reps whisper, "This is going to be good." Inside the office, Antonio explained the reality. Ferrari buyers often wait months, sometimes years, just for the chance to place an order. Background checks are done, financials reviewed, and history with high-performance cars considered. These cars weren't status symbols to be flaunted carelessly. They were legacies. Karen scoffed. "This is ridiculous. I could buy 5 of these tomorrow if I wanted. Do you know who my husband is?" Antonio leaned forward, his patience tested. "Ma'am, with respect, your husband's name does not entitle you to bypass the values of this brand. Ferrari isn't sold. It's entrusted." Her face turned red, but before she could argue again, Lucas and his daughter walked by the office door. Antonio smiled and gestured for them to wait. "Actually," Antonio said, "let me show you something." He led both Karen and Lucas into a private section of the showroom, where a gleaming Ferrari SF90 Stradale sat under soft lights. This one was reserved for a buyer who spent years saving, who came with not just money, but a story. Someone who understands sacrifice, patience, and respect. He turned to Lucas. "Mr. Rivera, this one's yours." Karen's jaw dropped. Lucas stood frozen, overwhelmed. His daughter's eyes filled with tears as she whispered, "Dad, it's really happening?" Antonio handed Lucas the keys with a firm handshake. It's yours. You've earned it, Karen exploded. This is outrageous. How dare you give it to him when I was here demanding service first? I'll ruin this place. I'll call corporate. Her rant was cut short as security quietly escorted her outside. The rest of the showroom erupted in applause. Not for Karen's exit, but for Lucas, who stood there with trembling hands, finally holding the keys to his dream. He wasn't a wealthy tycoon or a flashy businessman, just a man who served his country, raised his daughter with integrity, and worked tirelessly for everything he had. As he slid into the driver's seat, he closed his eyes, inhaling the scent of leather, the hum of possibility. His daughter climbed in beside him, still crying, whispering, "You deserve this, Dad." Outside, Karen fumed on the sidewalk, furious that her demands hadn't been met. But inside, Lucas's story had touched everyone who witnessed it. That day, the Ferrari showroom wasn't just about cars. It was about values, respect, humility, and the truth that entitlement can never buy what sacrifice earns. And as Lucas drove out of the showroom, sunlight bouncing off the curves of the car, he realized something. It wasn't just a Ferrari. It was proof that no matter how long it takes, dreams belong to those who earn them, not those who demand them.